Yeah, man, what's going on, Tiger fans? Probably still soaking in that loss that we took from Florida State. I want to say it was a good game. The second half of the fourth quarter was a good game. The 24-23 loss to Florida State. That one hurt. But it hurt for different reasons. Why? All right, so let's talk about this because I know LSU fans out there. We got a lot of delusional fans out there. A lot of fans are already jumping off the bandwagon, are probably already cussing out Brian Kelly, which a good deal of blame needs to go to the coaching staff. If we're being honest, a good deal of blame needs to go to the coaching staff. Special teams. How hard is it to kick a field goal or to receive a punt? I'm sure that's practiced all the time in practice. Catching the football, receiving it, looking the ball down, calling a fair catch. Oh my God. That's gonna be the focal point of practice, and why we can't block people. We keep people from blocking our kicks. What is going on here? What's up? I'm Terry J. Welcome to another episode of Commentary. If you're new to the channel, welcome. It's time to talk college football, man. We are back at it, and under the new regime of Brian Kelly, he starts off with a loss. And to be honest with you, I'm not going to say, it's weird to say a team deserved or didn't deserve to win. It is what it is. You go out and you play the game. And I don't know if I'm saying that right, but follow along, right? LSU had no business being as close as it did in that game. No business. They were complacent. They didn't bring energy for quarters 1 through 3.5. I was about to say 4.5. For 3.5 quarters, LSU did not. There was no swagger. There was no juice. There was no energy. Like, this is our backyard. Like, we in New Orleans. Like, and also too, I'm not gonna say stop showing me highlights of Burrow and stop bringing up that magical season that was, but stop doing that. ESPN, move along. This is a new era of LSU. A new identity needs to be made. Burrow is not putting on a jersey and coming through. Jamar Chase is not coming back. It's time to move on, LSU. And I'm not about to talk about the numbers. I'm not about to talk about what Jaden Daniels, how many throws did he, what was his percentage? You can look all that up. Although I will say, Butte, 0 catches, 0 yards in the first half of the game. But I will tell you this, all right? So on a positive note, I was impressed with Jaden Daniels' first start off because, look, here's a kid who, the offensive line broke down so often. This man was running for his life, and that kid is fast. Jaden Daniels got some wheels on him. Now, if we could do a combination of Jaden Daniels, and here's what Jaden Daniels looked like to me. He had moments of Lamar Jackson elusiveness. He could throw the ball and he can move and he can run. I like it. So do I like us moving forward? I do. All right. But we'll talk about that in a bit. We're going to talk about this FSU loss where we had no business being as close as we did. But OK, so the second play of the game where after Jaden Daniels scampers, gets out of the pocket and runs like 29 yards or something like that. He does his first throw to Butte in the end zone, which was a well-placed ball. It just didn't happen. It wasn't a touchdown, but I like the intention there. But then we just kind of the offensive line has got to do a better job. I don't know if we need to get more physical. We need to get bigger, whatever the case may be. I guess, Coach Kelly's going to look at the game tape and he's going to adjust accordingly. And I'm thinking we're going to get the bugs out for Southern University coming up next. That should be an interesting home game. It's the first home game of the season, and that's going down September 10th. HBCU, Baton Rouge, coming into town, just, a little drive over. But I'm not even looking ahead to that game right now. Let's break down and talk about what I saw. Again, I'm not a coach. I'm not a expert, but this is what it is. All right. So looking at, we got dynamic receivers. We do. I wasn't impressed with our running. We could get nothing going with the run game, but that doesn't shock me, because if the offensive line couldn't bully the FSU's defensive line, I don't expect too many holes to be made for the running backs to get through. Just honesty. But I do think LSU had no sense of urgency. You could see that for 3.5 quarters. LSU just was kind of there playing football. There was no lack of there was no energy. There was definitely lack of intent. I think as fans, we were just waiting for something to get going. And finally, when our backs are against the walls, we came out swinging. At least we didn't just fold. I will say that we didn't just fold. But that sense of urgency that we showed halfway through in the fourth quarter, why not have that the whole game? If that LSU in the fourth quarter had showed up for quarters 1 through 3, that wouldn't have been the game. Because why? LSU's defense. Bravo. I mean, there was some missed tackles. There was some better tackles that need to be made. I saw a couple tackles where the guy, some of our defensive players tried to hit the hit stick instead of just doing a traditional wrapping up a player for extra yardage. But Travis on the other end for Florida State, that kid has, he extended some plays, quite a few plays. He did a good job. And if you're the defense, the last thing you want is a quarterback who can extend some plays by moving his feet, because, he's just he was getting first down after first down. Defense is tired. And then the offense for 3.5 quarters was getting brutal beating. It was what it was. We could barely get first downs to save our lives. So the defense was always on the field. So with that being said, the defense will be better once the offense gets better. Why? Because the defense will have more energy, but I need the offense to have that energy. Where's the leadership? I need someone to, hold these people accountable and say, where's our energy? We are LSU. We are purple and gold. We have won national championships. We are that team that we are supposed to be striking fear into other teams. Now I get it. Again, it's his first year, Brian Kelly. How much can we expect? And you tell me what you saw, right? But also my question, is it time to hit the panic button? Do we hit the panic button right now? Because we play in the SEC West, and it's only going to get tougher from here. And I don't know now. I don't know. The only time I had LSU losing, I did an episode about, an early look at LSU and the record, best case and worst case scenario, right? And the only time I had LSU losing to Florida State, I think, was in the worst case scenario. Does this kick off our worst case scenario, or the panic button too soon? Let's look ahead. All right. Let's just, now that we know what we know, and we've seen what we've seen, are the cardiac cats back? Meaning it's going to be down to the wire every other game. All right. 24-23 loss to Florida State. We play Southern. I expect LSU to be working out some of the bugs, getting the kinks out of this offense. I think LSU is going to come out and dominate. Mississippi State. Is it going to come down to the wire? Are we going to figure it out? Again, that's another home game. I'm hopeful that LSU can pull it out. New Mexico State. I think LSU is going to pull. I think we're going to win the next 3. But then we're going to get tested again against Auburn. I just don't know. I mean, it's still okay. Honestly, look, I think we're going to beat Southern, but I think we're going to beat Mississippi State. I think we're going to beat New Mexico. I think prayerfully we beat Auburn and we beat Tennessee. But Auburn is on the road. I don't know. I think we can actually beat Auburn. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 in a row. Now, what makes me nervous? And here's what makes me nervous. That Florida game. Because I watched that Florida game against Utah, And look, first of all, Utah, respect to Utah. Utah looked good, all right? But that quarterback, Richardson, give him another year. But that kid's got just as much speed and elusiveness as Travis from Florida State did. And so therefore, and he could throw the ball. I think that's going to be a cardiac game. So get your heart attack medicine ready, because that Florida game, I think, is going to go back and forth. And that's going to be in the Swamp, October 15th. From there, hopefully we've found our identity by Florida. We have to, right? We have to. Who knows? I don't even want to get into the second half of after Florida, because it's Ole Miss, Alabama, Arkansas. Then we get a breather with UAB, and then it's Texas A&M. It might get brutal after Florida. Like from Florida on, it might get real dangerous. So, if you don't have gray hairs, you might start getting them. If your hair hasn't started falling out, it might. But okay, what were your thoughts on this LSU game, man? What were your thoughts? Are you worried? Are you disgusted by the game? You're probably most likely disgusted. That's not even a question. But what are your thoughts for the rest of the season? Now that you've seen the first game under LSU, under Brian Kelly, what are your thoughts for the upcoming, for the rest of the season? I want to know. All right. Drop me a comment, man. I love when you guys drop me comments. I love when you guys challenge my way of thinking, because, that means you're actively watching, and I appreciate you guys for it. As always, hit the like and subscribe button and hit the notification bell, because when I'm dropping these videos, it's football time, baby. It is football time. And please believe me, this is just about LSU right here, but we're going to talk about the rest of the SEC, and I'm going to make some videos about college football in general, and maybe, college playoffs. Who's going to get there? Who won't get there? And then also the NFL. All right. So again, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I drop a video like this one. I appreciate you guys for listening. Until next time, peace.